We're going to learn now how to identify the slope of a line and the y-intercept of a line just by looking at its equation. So remember the slope-intercept form of a line. So the slope-intercept form is the equation form for any straight line is y equals mx plus b. And remember, m represents the slope of my line and b represents the y-intercept. That's where the term slope-intercept form comes from. Kind of handy. Okay, let's see what we can do with this form. So we're asked, what is the slope and the y-intercept of the line y equals 2/3 x plus 4? Well, it's looking like this equation is set up in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So if I can line this up with slope-intercept form, then I simply need to match the different parts of my equation to the things that I want to know. So slope is represented by m, so the slope of this line is 2/3. And the y-intercept, which is represented by b, is a positive 4. And just to show you that this works, I wrote up the graph for this line, and we can see that the y-intercept of this line is indeed, let's do b equals 1, 2, 3, 4. And the slope of this line is, if I choose 2 points, draw the triangle, I rise 2 and I run 3. So my slope is 2/3. So I can see from the graph that if I match up the equation, then I can simply look and identify the slope and the y-intercept. Let's do one more like this. So we're asked to find the slope and the y-intercept of the line y equals -4x minus 1. So this is looking like it's in slope-intercept form, so let's line it up with the slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and it looks like things are lining up. So let's find the slope first. So m is representing the slope. So this number in front of x, -4, is my slope. And b, the y-intercept, is what comes after. It's just the number hanging out by itself, which in this case is a -1. So if I wanted to double check my answer with a graph, I could do that. Notice here's the line. It crosses at the y-axis at b equals -1. And the slope of this line, let's choose another point right here. Draw the triangle between these 2 points. And the slope is down 4 and to the right 1. So -4/1, which is the same thing as just -4. So the slope of this line is -4. And that matches up with what I thought it should be using the slope-intercept form. Okay, now let's see if we can do it without checking our answer with the graph. What's the slope and the y-intercept of the line y equals 1/2 x plus 8? Well, line it up with slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and we can see that the slope is 1/2, and the y-intercept is a positive 8. What is the slope and the y-intercept of the line y equals x minus 10? Well, let's write it so it matches up with slope-intercept form. So the slope is whatever number is in front of x, but it's looking like there isn't a number in front of x. But if there's an x written here, then we just assume that there's one x here. So the number in front of the variable x here is 1, so that means my slope is 1. And then the y-intercept is a -10. Don't forget to carry that sign with it. So the y-intercept for this line is -10. And last example, what is the slope and the y-intercept of the line y equals 6? Well, this one doesn't look like it's in slope-intercept form, but let me show you what it does look like. So we have y equals in both of them, but we don't have an x variable or a number in front of our x. And so it looks like we just don't have this part in our equation. All we have is the b. So if they asked me what the slope was for this line, I would say it's 0. There is no slope. And the y-intercept is 6.